So I just wanted to talk to you guys about this game coming out I heard of called Dark Souls 3. Some of you might have heard of it. I don't think many have. Probably pick it up on Steam once it comes out, on a sale. Maybe 75% off. We'll give it a try. Yeah, right. What's good, YouTube? This is Mitchell, aka Demius21, coming at you from RekAllTheThings. I just want to do a little talk about the hype train known as Dark Souls 3. So, Hidetaka Miyazaki is back to lead us to the promised land once again. Looks pretty interesting so far. I do see a little bit of Bloodborne-esque designing in this one. Not that I'm against that, but I just hope we're not going to be playing a Blood Souls. You know what I mean. Looking good. Looking a little different this time by far. Definitely setting the tone with the whole embrace the darkness. That changes everything. This whole time we've definitely been playing as the guys that are on the light side. They're leading us to believe this time that we're going to be encouraging the Dark Age for sure. So, that being said, I'm not against the change of pace. So, we're definitely going to take this journey together here and see what we can come up in Lothric? Lothric? Lothric. I think it was Lothric. It's got to be Lothric. And Orlando, sounding pretty close. I imagine that's going to have a big impact on it this time. It looks to almost to be the same place in all honesty. Now, the whole mechanics, looks like they've changed a little bit on this one where they have weapon arts now, I believe. Instead of just changing your stance like from regular to two-handed, it looks like they call them weapon arts. To be honest, boys, I haven't watched too much of the stuff on the trailer and the gameplay. I watched the trailer. I haven't watched too much on the gameplay just because I don't want to spoil too much of it. I think half the game of Dark Souls is the first time you come across stuff. The first time you see it really leaves an impact on you in these games. It's something that sticks with you for sure. I'll never forget the first time that I beat the Iron Golem, and the things come down and grab you, take you over top of the wall, and you see Anne Orlando, and you're like, whoa, I have definitely been rocking the ghetto this whole time. The whole no hollowing thing, that is another one that's very intriguing. Pretty much everybody has gone hollow that's ever been, in Drangleic or Anne Orlando or whatever. Everyone's eventually hollowed. The fact that we don't hollow is very different in this one. But what do you guys think about that? Do you think that's a good choice or a good taste for the game? I know in the first one it didn't really impede you too much by playing as a hollow. There was really no incentive other than, I would say, summoning to play as like the human, or to have the humanity, I guess, for a little bit of farming. But it didn't really hurt you to run around most of the time as a hollow. Versus in the second one where you're losing up to half of your health bar by being hollow, that was detrimental. Of course, you got the one ring, that helps you only lose 25% instead of, or only 50% of what you were supposed to lose versus the entire sum of it. Even still, some of the rings in Dark Souls 2 I know people weren't a fan of, like the soul protection ring, that pretty much ruined PvP, save all your souls for $3,000. That's a pretty good trade-off. I think everybody was taking that deal. Hunting down the Lords of Cinder, that's another huge piece of the storyline for Dark Souls 3. We know that Gwyn was called Lord of Cinder when we were fighting him in Dark Souls 1, so that makes me believe that these Lords of Cinder have already served their term. Whatever's involved them in the First Flame, it's come to a close. That's the Cinder portion of it, right? So I can't wait to find out more on that. And am I the only one that sees the similarities in armor between Gwyn and the Giant King? Also, we got the Firelink Shrine. There's the Firekeeper. It looked like a Firekeeper, I'm guessing is what they call her. That was up in like the Firelink Shrine that's watching it. And she has the crown that looked like the Ivory King crown, but it had the dark symbol swirling in the center of it over like where her eyes would sit. So that's That's, I wonder if it's another connection piece right there. Sacrifices for the bonfires. That's another new mechanic that's in the game. Seems a little dark. Like, I don't know how to take that right now, but it seems a little dark to sacrifice people to have your checkpoint. You know, whether good or bad, I guess, like, it's gonna have to, they're gonna have some sort of humanity, I would imagine, if it's gonna be a sacrifice. I haven't heard too much on the weapons in this one. I just heard that they're gonna try to pick up the combat pace a little bit, try to make it a little more, I would say aggressive. I wouldn't take it to the point of where Bloodborne was, that you gotta, you know, rush back in to regain some of your health kind of deal, but just to encourage people not to be, you know, the big tank behind the great shield that creeps around the levels, you know, trying to not get hit by anything. I also heard that, well, being this one's designed specifically for next gen, that the AI will definitely be a little smarter, you know, be waiting for you around the corner, let you kind of creep into the room, cut off, you know, like the retreat kind of deal. So that's very interesting, you know, if you can pick that up a little bit, that you can't just kind of peek your head in and run back away. You know, if they wait for you to actually get in there and then cut you off, like, that's a whole different thing. Now, for the sad part of it is they talk about this being the final Dark Souls. I've heard it a couple of times. I'm really curious to see if you guys want some closure in this one. Do you really want them to kind of nail the ending and pin it all together, or would you rather them keep up the tradition of what they had, of where they leave it vague and through the lore of the items? Or do you want it to be like, nope, this is how it goes down, this is what happens? So in the end, this is one of my favorite gaming communities. It's a Dark Souls community. People are amazing in what they can come up with. So fill out this comment section, tell me what you guys think, what you want to see, what you want to happen in the end, and what you're looking forward to most about the game. So once again, I'm Mitchell, aka Demis21 from RekAllTheThings, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more content.